Chapter 4. The Year of the Elephant. The Year of the Elephant. The above-mentioned episode happened in his youth. Now we come to the most important event of his life, which took place just 8 years before his death. By then he was the patriarch of the tribe. The Ethiopian governor of Yemen, Abraha al-Asram, invited the reference in which the Kaaba was held by the Arabs. Being a staunch Christian, he built a big cathedral in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, and ordered the Arabs to go there for pilgrimage instead. The order was ignored. Not only that, someone entered the cathedral and made it unclear. The wrath of Abraham knew no bounds. In his fury, he decided to avenge it by demolishing and desecrating the Kaaba itself. He advanced with a large army toward Mecca. There were many elephants in his army. He himself rode a huge elephant. It was an animal which the Arabs had not seen before. Thus the year came to be known as Amulfil, the year of the elephant, and it started an era for recording the years in Arabia. This remained in use until the days of Umar ibn al-Khattab, when, on the advice of Hazrat Ali ibn Ali Abi Talib, he replaced it with the era of Hijrah. When news of the advent of Abraham's army came, the Arabian tribes of Quraysh, Kinana, Khuza'ah, and Hudayl joined together to defend the Kaaba. Abraham sent a small contingent towards Mecca to capture the camels and young people. The contingent captured many animals, including 200 of Abdul Muttalib's. Meanwhile, a man from the tribe of Himyar was sent by Abraham to Quraysh to advise them that Abraham had not come to fight them. His only aim was to demolish the Kaaba, but if the Quraysh resisted, they would be crushed. Then followed a frightening description of his huge army, which admittedly was much larger and better equipped than all the tribes put together. Abdul Muttalib replied to this ultimatum in these words: "By Allah, we do not want to fight him. So far as this house, the Kaaba, is concerned, it is the house of Allah. If Allah wants to save his house, he will save it, and if he leaves it unprotected, no one can save it." Then Abdul Muttalib, with armed Ibn Abba and some other prominent leaders, went to see Abraha. Abraha was informed beforehand to the prestige and position of Abdul Muttalib. Also, the personality of Abdul Muttalib was very impressive and awe-inspiring. When he entered Abraha's tent, the latter rose from his throne, warmly welcomed him, and set him beside him on the carpet. During the conversation, Abdul Muttalib requested him to release his calm. Abraham was astonished instead. He sighed, "When my eyes fell upon you, I was so impressed by you then had you request me to withdraw my army and go back to Yemen, I would have granted and request. But no, I have no respect for you. Why? Here I have come to demolish the house which is the religious center of yours and of you forever, and the foundation of your prestige and respect in Arabia, and you say nothing to save it. Instead, you ask me to return your few comes back to you. Abdul Muttalib said, I am the owner of the camels. Therefore, I try to save them, and this house has its own owner who will surely protect it. Abraha was stunned by this reply. He ordered the camels to be released, and the deputation of Christ returned. On the record day, Abraha issued order to his army to enter Mecca. Abdul Muttalib told the Meccans to leave the city and to seek refuge in the surrounding hills, but he, together with some leading members of Quraysh, remained within the precincts of the Kaaba. Abraha sent someone to warn them to vacate the building. When the messenger came, he asked the people who their leader was. All fingers pointed towards Abdul Muttalib. He was again invited to go to Abraha where he had a talk with him. When he came out, he was heard saying, the owner of this house is its defender, and I am sure he will save it from the attack of the adversaries and will not dishonor the servants of his house. Abdul Muttalib then took hold of the door of the Kaaba and crying to Allah, praying in the following words of poetry. O Allah, surely a man defends his own home. Therefore, the should protect their own house. Their crows and their wrath can never overcome their words. O Allah, help their own people against the fellows of the cross and its worshippers. Then he, too, went to the summit of the hill Abu Qubaish. Abraha advanced with his army, saying the walls of the Kaaba. He ordered its demolition. No sooner had the army rested near the Kaaba than an army of Allah appeared from the western side. A dark cloud of small birds, known in Arabic as ababil, overshadowed the entire army of Abraha. Each bird had three pebbles, two in each claws and one in each beak. A rain of the pebbles poured down from the birds, and in a few minutes the whole army was destroyed. Abraha himself was seriously wounded. He fled towards Yemen, but died on the way. It is to this important event that Allah refers in chapter 105. Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the companions of the 11? Did he not make their treacherous plan go astray? And he sent against them birds in flocks, striking them with stones of baked clay, so he rendered them like straw eaten up. Some historians have tried to minimize the impact of the divine intervention by suggesting that the army perished because of an epidemic of smallpox, but such an explanation creates mass bias that involves how was it that the whole army was saved by an epidemic just when it was advancing on the Kaaba? How was it that not a single soldier survived that epidemic? Why was it that no Meccan counts that contagious epidemic? Moreover, if there was no epidemic in Mecca before or after that sudden birth of the plague Jew, where did the epidemic come from? This epoch-making episode happened in 570 AD. It was in the same year that the Holy Prophet of Islam was born to Abdullah and Aminah.